Hello, I would like to welcome you once again to our Lessons in Living Character seminar. This is our ninth lesson that we have begin with in giving a seminar on the importance of teaching character to children. In this session, I would like you to turn to page 15 in your manual. And in the last session, we talked about different people that had said different things about character. We talked about Amelia Earhart. We talked about Albert Einstein. We talked about Martin Luther King. And what made these people great? On page 15, you will see there at the top of the page, we say it was character that made these people great. It was who they were on the inside that made them great, what they were on the outside. You see, as we had said before, sometimes people judge us by the outward appearance, but actually the inward character of a person is the most important thing. We have some quotes there in the middle of the page of 15. It says, character is caught by the student more than taught. And that's important for us to remember when we're teaching character to children. Because it's not just our words, but it's also the actions that we do that makes a difference. That really we are the illustration of the quality we are attempting to teach. And then we also say there that character determines success. If you want to be a person of success, you will need to be a person of character. Because character is who you are on the inside. And then the next quote says, the qualities built into an individual's life determine his or her responses regardless of the circumstances. That says that what is built on the inside will come out of us. We respond from the inside, and we can respond in a positive way, in a good way, even when the circumstances are difficult, even when the circumstances are bad. We don't have to be ruled by circumstances. They don't have to dictate our behavior. And then the last one is, character is what you do when you think no one will ever know. And this is a very important thing to consider. It speaks of the inner strength of a person, of you and me, doing what is right, even when the circumstances are difficult, and even when no one else will even know our actions or the things that we have said. Now on the bottom of the page, we talk about building a fence or operating an ambulance service. This leads me into a little story that I want to tell you, which illustrates this idea of building character or doing programs in order to help people with the consequences of bad character. So let me listen carefully to this little story, because there's important truth that I'm speaking about the importance of building character into the life of the child. And not only building character into the life of the child, but also building character into your and my life as well. And the benefits that it will bring to each of us. Once there was a man that came into a village, and when he came in, he noticed that all the people were very sad. And he asked them, "Why are you all so sad? Why do you all have long faces? Why are you crying?" And so they said, "Sir, you would not believe what has been happening. Do you see that mountain over there? Every night, people walk at the top of that mountain. But when they get too close to the edge or too close to the cliff, because they cannot see where the edge is, they fall over the cliff. They fall down many, many feet to the bottom of the hill. Some have broken bones. Some have had head damages. Some have had lacerations and cuts. And some have even died. So we've had to take them to the hospital, and doctors have had to work on them to restore their health again. So remember, this man was a very wise man. So the next day, when he got up, he went to the store, he went to the lumber store, and he went to the hardware store and to the paint shop. And he bought some wood, he got some nails, he bought a hammer, and he bought some paint and a paintbrush. And he went to the top of the hill. And there he built a beautiful white fence. And then he went home that night. The next day he got up and he saw how everybody was so happy. And he said, "Why are you so happy today? Yesterday you were so sad. Today you are so happy." And they said, "Sir, you would not believe what happened. Yesterday somebody went to the top of the hill and built a beautiful white fence." See that beautiful white fence? And because of that, last night when people were walking at the top of the hill and they got too close to the cliff, they saw the beautiful white fence. And they didn't fall over the hill. They didn't hurt themselves. We didn't have to take them to the hospital. There was no need for doctors to sew them up or to set broken bones. And nobody died. Now, this is a little story that illustrates this idea. Do we want to build a fence or operate an ambulance service? What is an ambulance service? What is the fence? The ambulance service in our communities, there are many programs. We have programs for people that have trouble with alcohol. We have programs for people that have a drug addiction problem. We have programs for people that may have violence situation, domestic violence, different social problems that people face. We have places for them to go. There are people that are trained to help them. And so we can call that like an ambulance service. Places where they can recover and come back into society. But like the wise man, he built a fence, didn't he? So that the ambulance, the hospital, the doctors, None of that was necessary because people did not fall over the hill. So let me ask you, what do you think the beautiful white fence is? What keeps us from falling and damaging our lives? From being involved in drugs, the wrong use of alcohol, domestic violence, and all the social problems that we see in our cultures, and even in different countries. I believe one of the things that can help us so much is the building of principles of character into the life of a child. You see, when you build principles of character into the lives of your children, you are building a beautiful white fence. What does the white fence do? The white fence establishes a boundary for that child. The white fence says, this is how far you go and no further. If you go beyond this point, you will fall over the hill. Your life will be damaged, and you will incur not just physical pain, but even moral pain and things in your life. And so it's necessary that we teach principles of character to children. So I want you to think in your situation, in your culture, what is the wisest thing do you think it is to do? To operate an ambulance service or to teach character to children so that as they grow, they will not have to even have these programs in their life. I believe that it is so important. It is the wisest thing to teach character, to construct a beautiful white fence, to teach principles of character to children so they know boundaries and they understand what are the principles of life to keep them safe from having disasters happen in their life. So once again, I would like you to go into your discussion groups and to answer these two questions. What did I learn in this session? And how does this affect my teaching? Perhaps you may identify different programs in your culture that are like ambulance services, and talk also with one another about the importance of the teaching of character, of constructing a beautiful white fence in the minds and the hearts of your children. God bless you. We'll see you next session.